Today we're gonna go see the actual Starbucks location, the first farm, what I was talking about beforehand, and then we're just gonna lay low, go in the city, and just have some fun like we did last night. But just, we do leave tomorrow, so we got some just chillaxing and getting ready to do for sure. But we are gonna go on a nice Starbucks trip.
We have different names. We have Turrialba, Orosi, Tres Rios. All of those are the coffee regions that we have as a country. We have 8 different regions. We can produce coffee from the south to the north, but in every region we're going to have different soil elevation and temperatures. For example, where we are on the Central Valley, our elevation is around 3,000 feet above the sea level. The temperatures are changing during the day, and we have volcanic soils because right here we are like in the middle of 2 volcanoes. So that is going to help us. At the end, if you make a comparison with the coffee that is produced in the different regions, aromas, levels of acidity, fragrances, they might taste a little bit, okay? Right here, the farm, it's producing coffee since 1970, but it was until 2013, like 10 years ago, when Starbucks bought it. And in 2018, like 5 years ago, was when we opened right here the visitor center. But always with the idea to help coffee farmers to go through challenges like the global warming, we have coffee diseases, and the long process that it takes to have a harvest for the first time. Actually, in Costa Rica, we only have 1 harvest a year, and it takes 4 years to produce it for the first time. But like we have different regions, it's going to happen in different months of the year as well. On the Central Valley, where we are right now, it's supposed to be from November to March. However, the weather conditions change a little bit, and now we're about to end the harvest season. So right now we are picking all of those overripe coffee cherries and the ripe ones, but we don't have too much coffee to pick right now. And then we're going to have to wait one more time until November of this year as well, okay? So let's go and see how everything begins with our seeds. So let's go all the way down right there. Those right here, those are the coffee seeds, and that's what we use, okay? We grab one of these, we plant it, and then we have to wait around 2 months for the first stage, and they look like this. This is what we call the little soldier or the matching seed. 15 days later, we get to see the second stage, and it's this one right here, the butterfly. We call it the butterfly because the bigger leaves look like the butterfly. However, in that stage, those bigger leaves are like fake or temporary because what they are doing is provide nutrients and protection to the real ones. And the real ones are these ones right here that eventually they will continue growing, and 1 year later, this is how they look, okay? So something that we call in Costa Rica almasi. And now with 1 year old, guys, somebody's asking something.
Oh, yes.
Yes, please. So right here, this is what we call almasi. And now that they have 1 year old, they will be ready to be moved inside on the field. Like now on the fields, we have to wait one more time, but it's going to be like 2 or 3 years more to produce coffee for the first time. Okay, so the soil that you right there is up to 3 or 4 years what it takes to have a harvest for the first time. And then we're gonna have it just once a year, like I told you, but it's gonna happen in different months, guys. Right here, everything what we're gonna produce is going to be Arabica coffee. When we talk about coffee, we have to talk about species, and there are more than 100 species. However, there are only 2 the most recognized, and those are Coffea arabica and Coffea robusta. Here, actually, as a company, we only buy Arabica coffee. And in Costa Rica, the main species is Arabica as well. So here, or in any Starbucks that you visit in the future, everything is going to be Arabica. But from that species, we have varieties, and you can think about it like apples, for example. Not all of the apples have the same flavors, so not all of the coffee varieties that comes from Arabica have the same flavors. Actually, the quality is going to change, the yield is going to change as well, and that's what we have. We can blend them and sell it as a blend, or we can just sell one single bean, just one variety, and that's what happens pretty much right here in this store. Right here we only sell one variety, that is caturra. But in general, we blend varieties from different countries, from different regions, guys. Somebody is asking something else to go. Perhaps some coffees. So we can blend them, like I told you, different varieties, from different countries, from different regions. What we don't blend are species. Okay, we blend varieties, but they belong to the same species. Okay, the flavors are gonna be different. I can just leave it right there. Yeah. So right here we only have caturra, but also just in a blonde and a medium roast. We don't do dark roast right here. Okay, so let's go and see these coffee plants right here. Let's go upstairs.
So when you harvest the beans, you kill the plant, or you can keep growing?
No, they continue.
How long can you keep the plant then?
The plants, they can last for like 100 years.
Oh, really? And it'll still produce like high quality beans?
No, that's the thing. That's where it changes. Quality.
Yeah.
And the yield is going to change as well. So we keep them here 20 or 25 years. Yeah, when we remove them is from zero. So we take them out even with the roots and everything.
Yeah.
We're going to reuse this wood. But now we have a new almasivo here.
You like compost the wood and put it back in the soil?
Yeah, the wood we use it for the machines that help us to dry the coffee seeds.
Okay.
Because we have the natural process with sunlight or with machines. Machines, they are used when we have too much coffee to dry or when it's raining. Because the harvest season goes just from November to March, but on March we are still drying coffee, and that might go until maybe like April. In April, we have that transitional month.
Okay.
So it starts to rain, and once the coffee seeds are completely dried, guys, they cannot get wet again.
They can never get wet.
So we need to use machines. Sometimes, actually, the last 3 weeks in Costa Rica has been raining a little bit, just a little mist, but it's more than enough. So we have to use machines when it rains.
How long does it take to dry?
Depend. If it is with the sunlight, 5 to 7 days under the sunlight. If it is with machines, 24 or 32 hours in a row.
Do you do anything to the plants while they're growing? You just let them, do you like top them? Or?
No, we have to do a lot of things. We have to prune them every 4 or 5 years.
Yeah.
And during those 25 years, we need to keep them under control with diseases. So we need to verify them. We need to use applied fertilizers, pesticides, fungicides. We're gonna have to use all of that because they are really necessary. One of the things that we do right here is that we teach how to use those tools, but in the right way. Use them wisely. I mean, the agrochemics, when we buy coffee from different farms, we are allowed to use them, but they need to use them in the right way. So it's different, okay? That's actually one of the idea why we have a farm, because the farm is trying to work as an example for big farmers and small farmers. That's the reason why we don't produce organic coffee right here, because a big farmer cannot produce organic coffee. It's complicated. But the idea is to work as an example for both of them.
So what do you like as an R&D? What do you change, like the fertilizers? Or like, what do you
We use
research?
them because we use them. But in development, specifically, we help coffee farmers to go through those challenges.
Okay.
So the last year, I think that we choose 10 coffee producers in Costa Rica randomly, and we are working with them, offering them the tools necessary tools, gimmicks, all what they need, but in the right way. And Carlos Mario and Victor Trejo, that's the Wilderness Frontier, they visit their farms and they give them like classes of how to use those tools, so they work on their fields. Everything that we apply right here, we are trying to apply it in those farms. It's a little bit complicated because remember that we don't have the same conditions in all Costa Rica. So if it works, wow, that's a good idea. It's great. But if it doesn't work, we have to continue helping them until it works. That's what we do in development.
You help monitor their farms and see
Yes,
how it goes?
monitor with that. At the same time, we give those seeds of those new varieties that we create. And before the pandemic, they used to visit us right here, but now we are the one who visits them. That's what we do pretty much. There are different things. They are trying to create like an app. They are trying to create, but it's a little bit complicated, that can read the soil and what you're looking at. It's extremely complicated to create it. Now I think that they are just measuring some scientific data. I don't know what it is, and they have to write it down like in a web page that they create, and that data is going to give you like what is necessary for your soil, for the leaves, guys, because there are some trees that also like will sell like nitrogen and all of those things. So that app might help you to know what do you need on your farm. That's what we do in development. In research, create new varieties. Okay.
All right.
Now, guys, in order to have a cherry or to have a harvest, we always need coffee flowers. No flowers, no cherries. No rain, no flowers, okay? And that's what I told you. April is supposed to be that transitional month from dry to rainy season, maybe the beginning of May. So during those months, it's gonna be raining, and that is gonna make that we have several blossoms during those months, okay? The problem is that the plants, in the moment that they feel rain, they will bloom. That's what happened right here. These days, we're having a little bit mist, and now, as you can see, we have flowers. Benita, ¿no sabes si falta algo más? Vení, falta algo más de ellos. Ya no. Bueno, para quedarme aquí. No me muevo. Guys, right here. These flowers, they are not supposed to be right here. And actually, nothing we can do. They don't work for us anymore, okay? The cycle is really easy. We have the flowers on April or May. The flowers just last for 5 days because the flowers on the Arabica species, they are self-pollinated flowers. They are male and females at the same time. They dry and fall off. And 8 or 9 months later, we have the coffee cherry. November. They should be ripe. If they are not ripe enough, we have from November to March for a way for them to get ripe and pick them. So that's the harvest season, okay? The problem is that we have these flowers. Are they becoming a cherry? No, because even though we have a little bit rain, it's not raining enough. So they are just making the flowers bloom, but they are not catching the nutrients enough to become into the coffee cherry. Thankfully, I think that was like in the middle of January, we have a little bit of rain, and that produced a lot of flowers right here. But that is not gonna help us, okay? And those things happen because of the global warming, okay? Global warming actually affects us in different ways. It makes easy to the diseases to get spread from one place to other. Diseases, guys. Like it's raining, the plants, they don't have enough time to get dried for completely. We have more humidity, so the fungus go extremely like a crazy, spreading everywhere. So there are a lot of things that we have to do. That's why we have that development, so we help coffee farmers to go through that process, okay? When the coffee cherries get to be ripe, we have yellow colors and red colors, okay? Those are like the most common things. This one right here, this variety, that belongs to Arabica, remember, it's called Geisha Victoria Especial. And the geishas, they are varieties that they are described for being exotic, exclusive, and special. And that is because of the flavors. We're gonna find really sweet flavors, like jasmines or peaches notes in our coffee, okay? Actually, the body of the coffee is so light that it doesn't taste like coffee. It tastes like tea, okay? And we said that for every coffee, there is a special market. People said sometimes that they don't like these flavors, but specifically the Asian market, they do. And the geishas, they were discovered in in Ethiopia, but nowadays one of the largest coffee producers is Panama, and they sell it to the Asian market like Korea and Japan, okay? They are one of those varieties that they are considered 100% quality because of those unique characteristics. However, they are really vulnerable against diseases. That's why we cannot have like a perfect variety. In the other hand, we have the one that is behind you guys, a variety that is Calobata Amarillo. It is not recognized for having amazing flavors, but it's really resistant against the coffee leaf rust. And the coffee leaf rust is one of the most common things and the most common diseases that we have here. And actually we have it in this form. Most trees that focus on stuff,
After 100.
Guys, you see these orange dots right there?
Mm-hmm.
You see it?
Yeah.
Okay, so this that's one of the most common diseases. So that dust or that powdery are the spores because this is a fungus. Okay, this one it specifically covers the coffee leaves like this. Okay, when it covers them, they cannot make the photosynthesis. If we don't have photosynthesis, we don't have nutrients and we don't have energy to produce coffee cherries. So it doesn't affect quality, it affects quantity, okay? The problem with this disease, guys, is that we cannot eliminate it. We can just keep it under control. Applying fungicides, but remember, we cannot use too many fungicides, okay? Or the agrochemics. We can prune the plants. Remember, during every 4 or 5 years we do it, but if I prune a plant, I'm gonna have to wait 2 or 3 years more for that plant to produce coffee one more time. So you cannot prune the whole your whole farm, or maybe just if you prune the half of your farm, you're gonna be in a big problem because you still have to continue investing. And the coffee leaf rust, okay, it's not this anymore in this plot, but it's gonna be in another plot. Okay. What we do here is that we are creating varieties against stronger against diseases like this. Okay. Or for example, we are teaching coffee farmers to use this. And why do we have to do all of these, guys? We do it here because we wanna that all of the coffee farmers who sells or know the coffee to Starbucks try to do the same thing. Okay, we have a verification that is called, it's a program verification that is called Cafe Practices. Cafe Practices stands for Coffee and Farmers Equity. So what we do is that we verify that the coffee that we get come an ethical source. So that program is gonna measure, for example, coffee farmers against social responsibility, environmental leadership, quality, and at the same time, guys, it's I forget the other one, quality and economic transparency. Okay, so we verify those criteria here because this is the only farm that belongs to the company, and in all of those farms who sells coffee to the company. For example, we verify minimum wages. That's really important. Okay, the coffee pickers that work here, they have access to dental and medical care, and housing services, specifically in Costa Rica, because in our country those coffee pickers are from Nicaragua and Panama, because Costa Rican people don't like to pick coffee. Of course, we don't like to pick. We don't like it. We don't like it, but there are a lot of reasons why. The main is because this only lasts for 4 months. Many years ago, a lot of people, when they were kids, people over 50 probably, they picked coffee when they were kids. And that was normal because they send you when you were on vacations to pick coffee, but on vacations. So the problem is that nowadays that we really depend on people from Nicaragua and Panama. Most of it, Nicaraguan people move to Costa Rica and they do with entire family mean kids, and they bring them back to work, not just to stay. So as a country, in this case, guys, well, child labor is forbidden. Thankfully, not all of the coffee producers follow the rules. And as a company, we have to follow those rules, and one of them is no child labor. So that's why right here we offer daycare services for those kids, okay? And dental and medical care. Actually, if you're a picker in Costa Rica and you're legal, you're gonna have an insurance covered by the government, but only for those 4 months. okay? It doesn't matter the country, you're gonna have that in, okay? So all of these benefits that we're gonna offer right here is just with the idea that you can copy the same that we do right here, okay? Fair working conditions, gender equality, economic transparency, guys, like I told you, minimum wages, reducing the use of agrochemics, reducing the use of water when we process coffee, it's another thing. And the most important thing, guys, is to be 100% sure that the coffee that we are producing is 100% white, okay? That's something that we do right here, and in all of those farms who sells coffee to the company. And even though the verification was created with Starbucks and by Starbucks and another company that is called Conservation International, it's a third party, the one who makes the verification. It's not ourselves, okay? It's a little bit complicated. We pick coffee manual and selective. The coffee cherries are not ripe all at the same time, so that's what we need between 300 or 400 coffee pickers here. Okay, we pick up with those baskets. Those are the traditional baskets that we used in Costa Rica many years ago. Now they are made of plastic, and there are guys, take a look right here. But sorry, this one goes right here. And the basket goes right up. You're ready? Hold the basket for me, and you have a stick. Because we don't have sizes for everyone, but we just tied it up a little bit with high technology. Don't lose the stick, don't lose the stick.
We need to get these for the wine group.
And when it's tight enough, with the same stick, guys, you're gonna place it underneath the rope, and voila.
Hey Common, it's me. I've been thinking about you lately. I missed you. Call me back. I miss you. I'm a little tipsy. I think about you all the time. Call me back.
moisture the bean has inside. Minute 5 or 6, it changes from a green to a yellowish color. Right here we're gonna have some fragrances like butter, but no flavors developed yet, okay? During the roasting process, we have 2 pops or 2 cracks. That is gonna be happening because the beans, they are losing moisture, they are losing weight, but now they're bigger. The first pop between minute number 8 or 10, this is how they look, but it's inside. And the second pop is at minute number 12, seconds before, but that one is outside. In that moment we open it, and all of the beans, guys, they were starved. We need to cool them down as soon as possible because they're coming in really hot temperatures. That if we leave them inside, they will be from a medium roast to a dark roast. And right here I told you, we don't have dark roast. This is our medium, and this is the one that we're gonna go and see, okay? Let's go right there inside.
Just gotta smell the coffee. Mmm.
Too much.
Smell it.
When you start to smell, you say, coffee, can you identify another aroma or it's different? Yeah. So besides coffee, do you identify another flavor or another aroma, guys? Or this man something, a place, person, I don't know?
I don't even drink coffee.
You have to drink the